Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the next edition of History of Hudson Through the Eyes of the Library. I'm Dana Benner. I'm the circulation librarian at Rogers Memorial Library. And it's funny that this whole process, this adventure that we've been going on, is involving both libraries. The historical aspect here and the information that's available to all you folks over at Rogers. Today we're going to be going over to Library Park. Now, Library Park is special in numerous ways. Historically, it's a major part of what Hudson is. It involves the Hills family and the Kreutzbergs and all sorts of different people. Park is basically an honor place for American veterans. So we're going to be heading over there and taking a look at why is this park what it is? Why is it so important? And what it means to the town of Hudson. So we're going to be heading over there. Come along for the journey. Good morning, everybody. We're here at Library Park. Now, what's so big about Library Park? You really need to dig into Hudson history if you don't know what the big deal is about Library Park. Library Park didn't become Library Park until the early 1900s, sometime around 1910 or so. Prior to that, this was just a lot. This was owned by the Sanders family, who were a big business organization. In fact, what we now know as Library Street was actually Sanders Street at one time because of the family. They owned all this property all behind me in this park here. There's a relatively unknown fact that this piece of property that we know now as Library Park was once going to be subdivided to homes. There were 12 lots on this property. Believe it or not, 12 lots were going to be put on here. But none of them were big enough to build a home on. So if you wanted to build anything on these, you'd have to buy 2 lots. Commercialism at its finest, right? So you want to buy something, you had to buy 2 in order to build a house. That never really happened. The Sanders family ran out of funds. They had to mortgage off. It just went down the hill in a bobsled. So in stepped the Hills family. Dr. Hills, along with his mother-in-law, Mary Kreutzberg, saw a need here. And in fact, the street, they paid to have this whole street leveled, graded, and basically turned into what it is today. Again, Sanders Street was turned into Library Street as soon as Hills Memorial Library was built. We're drawing that Hills family connection into this whole thing. But Mary Kreutzberg is the one who really came up with most of the funds. And this park is actually dedicated to her. Now, everybody's sitting there going, you're looking at this and you're saying, what's wrong with Dana's outfit? Well, Dana's normal olive green jacket has been put away because we're approaching Memorial Day. And this park is really dedicated to the many veterans that have served in the numerous wars here and came from Hudson. So to honor my fellow veterans, I'm wearing the only piece of my uniform that actually still fits anymore.
Hi, I'm Christina Madden, past commander of the Hudson Memorial Post VFW 5791. And today I'm going to talk to you about the Veterans monuments here in Library Park. This is the honor roll for World War I. You notice it down here, it says in honor of the men who served in the World War, because this was right after World War I. There were approximately 71 young men from Hudson who served between 1917 and 1919. The listing was maintained by the town historian at the time, who was Julia Webster Robinson. At the town meeting in 1920, the town voted to have this tablet made, and by early 22, the granite boulder and attached tablet was placed in Library Park by the town. Of these men listed on here, 3 lost their lives during World War I. On June 25th, 1921, members of the local GAR, which is the Grand Army of the Republic from the Civil War, planted 3 maple trees nearby on Library Park near this monument as a memorial to the 3 men who died: Carlton Petrie, Merrill Spalding, and Leland Woods. At Christmas time, Wreaths Across America does put a wreath here to honor those 3 who passed away in the service of their country. Standing at this pre-Civil War naval cannon that was one of 2 cannons brought from the New Hampshire Armory on Canal Street in Nashua in 1929. They were cast at a foundry in Boston. This cannon was placed here. There was another cannon that was also placed in Center Common over near Old Center Cemetery. This cannon was fired, but we don't know if it was in battle, or if it was in battle, exactly what battle that was. This cannon remained here quietly, behaving itself for quite some time. Local children loved to climb on it. Parents took pictures of their kids sitting on it until September 2nd, 2015, when a school bus that had faulty brakes ran into it. The driver realized that he had no brakes, so he steered into the park to avoid hitting cars, and he ran into the cannon. The cannon wasn't harmed, but the mooring, the concrete mooring down here, was pulverized, and it was removed to the highway department, all of it, for refinishing. The town garage, they worked on it. They sanded, blasted, restored, and repainted the cannon while they had it there, and constructed a new mooring. Thanks to the efforts of our award-winning highway department, we have this cannon back in great shape. The highway department is the recipient of the first annual Community and Cultural Heritage Excellence Award, sponsored by the Hudson Historical Society. All right, I'm standing at the Town of Hudson War Memorial, which honors all of the men and women of our town who have served in all of the conflicts from World War I through Afghanistan. The members of Hudson American Legion Post 48 constructed an honor roll initially in 1942. As individual men and women entered the service, they added their names to the honor roll. Initially, that board got filled up, so they had to replace it with another one. After the war ended in 1945, the memorial that they had constructed stayed here. At some point, that initial honor roll was removed, I believe because it wasn't holding up well in the weather. So there was no monument here for a time until August of 1991, when the American Legion again erected the present war memorial. The Hudson Veterans War Memorial is in honor of all who have honorably served in our armed forces, both living and deceased, during all the conflicts of our great nation. This project was started in 1989, and James Arsenault designed the center of the monument. The Hudson Monument Company was contracted for the stonework and the artwork. Employees of the Hudson Public Works Department volunteered their services for the groundwork, and the concrete was provided by Brock's Industries, and the Hudson Paving Company formed the foundation. The completed memorial was dedicated Sunday, August 18th, 1991, as part of Hudson's Old Home Days. And every year on Memorial Day, in conjunction with the Memorial Day Parade, the American Legion conducts a very solemn ceremony here in the park, and they place a floral wreath in tribute at this monument.
We remember the many brave men and women who have given their lives through the history of our country to protect us from danger and harm. We remember all those who sustained injury in mind and or body in the course of their service. We salute all those who served in the military.
Each year, the Hudson American Legion Post 48 honors 187 military men and women by placing a flag at Library Park for each one of them. 8 of the flags that were placed honor soldiers who gave the ultimate sacrifice while serving our country. This year's flags were placed at each corner of the park's gazebo. Members of Post 48 and the Alvirne High School ROTC program spread across the park, working diligently to place the flags in their specific locations. These flags of honor will adorn Library Park for Memorial Day services and will remain in the park until Flag Day, which is on Friday, June 14th. This is a rich history. You need to go to the library, go to Rogers Memorial Library, look up this information, touch base with the Hudson Historical Society, touch base with the Veterans of Foreign Wars, touch base with all these different people, gather this information, and this is rich. One other part I want to talk about, though, is this cannon that's sitting way over here. That cannon, my sisters, who were probably, you might say delinquent, they every year would paint that cannon. And every year the cops would round them up, make them clean it up, they'd have to repaint it. But every year it got painted a different color. So that's a little bit of my history with Library Park. Maybe you have some of your own. Get in touch with us. Say, hey, this is what I remember about it. Whatever the case may be. Hudson's your town. Get involved, learn its history, enjoy it. Well, here we are back again. Hey, it's still a beautiful day in Hudson. We don't get many of these lately. We're getting rain and the sun, but it stayed sunny the whole time. Wonderful time. Hey, we were joined over at Library Park by Christina Madden from the VFW. What a wealth of knowledge that lady is. You guys got to check those people out. So the Kreutzberg and the Hills family, their names keep popping up. Now, Kreutzberg was Virginia Hill's mother. Now, this is what this library is named after. In fact, because of the library, we have Library Street. Library Park came afterwards. It was bought eventually by the town of Hudson in the early 1900s and is what it is today. So get out there, enjoy Hudson history, check out the library, check out Rogers Memorial Library, find out information, dig, 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 dig. You never know what you're going to find. It may surprise you, it may not, but it also may just confirm what you already know. Either way, it's a learning experience, and this is all Hudson history, and we're making history every single day. So have a good day. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.